Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ninth day of Vlogmas. Um, there were some things I was going to talk about, but I'm sort of going to scratch it for this video because spiritually, there are some things stirring. There's some things that's amiss, and I feel like it's important for people to actually talk about it when they go through it, so it's fresh in your mind, and I can tell you guys in real time, like what's going on with me and what I'm feeling and things of that nature. So when especially when you're not alone, um, or there's people that contact you or people that surround you that don't want you to progress, there can be a number of reasons. Um, as of right now, what I'm realizing is one of the reasons people who don't necessarily want me to move on is if I move on, which I am, and leave and make my new life and be happy, that means everything they said about me wasn't true and everybody will see it. Even though I worked the two jobs. I was the support person. I was the person to be there. I was the person that was always proactive. When people suck the life out of you, they will even gaslight you into doing things that they don't really want to do themselves or they don't want to do at all, like start a business. They just want to be like, oh, I started a business. Well, they want to tell other people they started a business while you're the one doing all the work. So, with me, I'm noticing with me having my business, and it's weird. Like, you guys don't know, like, for years, I wanted to do this type of thing with like with YouTube, but I was so self-critical that I would look at my mouth and I'd be like, I hate the way that my mouth is moving. I hate my voice. I hate I in the other video, I think it was like the last one I did before this one. I remember just like looking at myself, even in the camera, I'm like, you look good. Like I was really a girl. I mean, I'm feeling myself now, but I was feeling myself. And it started to register in my head, but I was already sort of rambling a little bit towards the end of the video. And I was like, you know what, I'm just trying to keep it professional and I'm trying to hone my skills when it comes to staying on point and making eye contact and speaking clearly and doing this whole thing where you're looking into the camera and you're not looking everywhere else. Like maybe I don't even like that I move my hands a lot. I don't I just thought about that. But still, um I'm still moving my hands, but they're down here so you can't see. But if you don't care or you like it or you don't like it, just let me know. But I'm starting to see, sometimes when people contact me, um, or, come into close proximity to me, I notice that I do get scratches sometimes, um, over my body. I will have an influx of dreams, no matter how, crazy they are. Um, just like certain situations happen. Because I was already, like, it was a little bit of, I won't say it was a lot, but that's the thing with becoming more spiritual. You're more sensitive to spirit and your ancestors and your intuition and things of that nature. And feeling things like I had all of these things. It was very, very strong when I was younger. Um, but being around people or a person that was like sucking the life out of you and your life force out of you, it just turned into, you're in the fog. Like you still have it, but it's foggy. Um, And I was like just sort of testing certain theories out and stuff like that. And I ended up pretty much coming to a full conclusion. I'm like 90% sure that there was some things with another person that was pretty much, going behind my back and backstabbing me and sabotaging me. Um, I would, I got like scratches on my wrist. I got these deep scratches on my shoulder. Like, I got three scratches, like right here on my back of my neck. And even like my back of my neck is so freaking tight right now. And I could feel it. And I'm just like, my sleep schedule has, you know, I'm not blaming my sleep schedule necessarily on the happenings that happened like lately, but the positive, I can feel it, that the positivity, the manifestations are going through, and the positivity is going through. And even when people speak negatively about you and speak bad words about you, that is, it's a spell. It is. It's people manifesting. It's people, just like people say, don't do negative self-talk. Don't talk bad about yourself. Don't, it's one thing to be realistic with yourself that you got to fix something or you got to do something, but when you keep on homing in on it, it's going to become not just your reality, but you're going to be stuck in that mindset of always downplaying yourself. So, me going through this fast, like I, ended up taking like a break and stuff because I was just so exhausted, like mentally, spiritually, emotionally. So, I wasn't like going crazy or nothing, but I'm starting back on it as hard as I was before tomorrow, and getting my candles and stuff like that to sort of purify. I did some purification and stuff like that yesterday, and I know that I'm like this close, man. I'm this close because even in my lifetime, things that sort of get more jumbled or more messy or murky and stuff like that, it's almost like paying it forward because your abundance is going to be multiplied times, whatever. Um, and today in my job, there was like people that was like getting laid off and stuff like that, and some of us believe it happened, Friday. This is Monday. Some of us believe it happened Friday, but even like very like higher up people and stuff like that. And I'm like, we was on the trajectory of doing the complete opposite of what they're doing now. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to have like a whole meeting and stuff like that. Um, Tomorrow it was already scheduled. It's like a quarterly meeting for everybody in the entire company or whatever. But it's just the timing of it. And I'm pretty sure every sector is being looked at. But for ours specifically, as designers, they just hired a new person and they don't have any accounts for him. So I do feel like me leaving will also be a blessing because I do like most of the people that's there. Shade. But I feel like that is like I had something like that happen to me before. I was hired to come on because they thought they was going to get a big project and they didn't get a big project, and you just let the person go because, oh, oopsie, I thought we had a good chance of getting it and we just didn't. That's, it's part of the, I guess it's part of the field. I don't necessarily like to say that, but because people should be, there should be something that you could be able to do about that as a designer or anybody in a profession. Like, I could have stayed where I was at instead of you picking me up out of, you know, my norm or what I was doing already, where I could have still been focusing on finding a better job than where I was currently. Like now, I'm asked out because of your incompetence at the end of the day. So there's so much stuff going on. There's so much, um, and like to be honest, like I know people like I like the lights or whatever, the cheerfulness, but unpopular opinion, I feel like I feel like the holiday season is cursed. I do. I do. Like things that happen, how people act, it's how many people themselves out of here just, a lot of times people don't necessarily come together and stuff like that during the holidays a lot of times, like if you look at the stats and stuff like that. Um there's let me think. Sorry. Um but like I said, I feel a lot of stirrings going on. Um you know, like overall in general is my sleep, very overactive dreaming, dreaming about situations. And like one, like, girl, I had a dream today. Like I went and took a nap during my lunch break, and when I say, I think I astral projected. I don't know, like I was somewhere physically, like I was there, and there was like people walking around me in real time, and I'm like, and I was somewhere where it was like people in the Navy, and I'm like, why am I here? And something happened, I feel like on this side, like where I was at, but not physically, but like in the spiritual realm. And I like hurried up and came back, and I'm like jolted myself awake. Like I just like woke up. And that's when I felt it in the back of my neck, like this really sore spot, like on both sides of the back of my neck. And even when I pull my head down, dude, I can feel it. It's like I can feel it, like the muscle from the back of my neck pulling from the muscles at the top of my back. I can feel it. It is so tight. And it's not like I was sleeping. I sleep the same way that I sleep all the time. And I'm like, yeah, there's something going on. There's something going on, like a mist. And like I said, it's nothing bad or anything. It's just that I wanted to talk about it. And maybe if you have, especially if you're going through a fast or you're going through a spiritual awakening or you're distancing yourself or doing better for yourself, a lot of times, well, most of the time, it's like it really is spiritual. Um, going back and forth and like talking about my trauma and all of the stuff that happened to me, like not even in the last 2 years. I'm talking about all the way back to like, before I left high school, and talking about that and stuff like that. It was a lot. I'm like emotionally, spiritually, like I said, it's not bad, but it's a lot going. It's a lot moving. It's a lot shake. Like even me moving my head like this, like I can feel it just pulling. Like the muscles are just like so tight and pulling, and like I keep on stretching. But yeah, I'm like, this is like the beginning. Sort of like growing pains, or if you had like I don't know how many people are, into athletics, but anytime you pull something or you know long story short, you can feel yourself heal. Like it feels like this, almost like this burny light burny, type of itchy feeling in your body, like your muscles and stuff like that. Like I had like this knee injury, and I think like after 3 days, like it was annoying, especially when you're resting, you're trying to sleep, and I had my knee elevated, and I can feel it. It like felt like in my knee, I could feel like bruised blood vessels healing and coming together, muscles growing and coming together. Like it was like this itchy, burny type of feel. Like it's a very distinct feel, and I feel like that's what's going on, but spiritually, like I'm clocking this, I'm clocking that, I'm clocking this. And the thing about it, that even the type of betrayal I'm talking about is really, really bad. But it's to the point that I can't even say I feel bad for the people. And like I said, I don't feel bad for the people, or I'm not mad at the people. I just don't care. All it is just like, okay, well, I'm going to remove myself from you, and I'm just not going to talk to you no more. And you're probably going to still think we're friends 15 years later. But it's weird. And I'm happy that things are sort of coming to a head, because I did have like these inklings and these feelings and stuff like that when I was younger, especially when I was in the military. Like I was really good at clocking stuff. Um but now I feel like it's coming back, and I feel like it might be a little bit something extra or something more. And who's not to say, especially like with the food that we eat and that we consume here in the States, because like I'm on, like, to save money, I was just buying a bunch of stuff in bulk and from Costco and stuff like that. Then try not to overdo it with like spending and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like I'm very excited to be, not even faking being like this spiritual person, but on a day-to-day life, like you have your feelings and your energy, and to be able to trust yourself fully. And it's like your intuition, your spirit guides, your ancestors, the universe is protecting you, which they always have. But now you can feel it, and you don't have to do extra or things. For example, like things don't have to blow up in your face for you to know. Like your intuition is like in that moment. It's not like a hindsight anymore, where you see stuff and be like, huh, that conversation was weird. Huh, that was or oh, let me see if this person does something else. Or let me see what happens with this. It's like in the moment when it happens, you get those antennas, and it's like, oh. So, I mean, I probably will talk about this story more in detail, but I'll probably do it like later on, like probably way later on. Um, because obviously, the people involved don't know that I know, but you gotta trust your intuition, and especially investing in yourself spiritually to get yourself, you know, to that point, or in my case, back to that point. So looking forward, putting it out there into the universe, to my ancestors, that I am abundant, I am flourishing, I am open to receive, am ready to receive, so I can get up out of here. And I am thankful for having a reconnection with myself and my spiritual life. And I'm ready for more adventures. Like, what can I say? Like, you know, even getting ready to potentially, well, getting ready to meet the ladies from Exodus Summit in February, who's not to say that the person that I first see is going to be my best friend for life? Isn't going to be like, like a mom to me, or someone that I can travel the world with, or someone that can give me all the answers as far as like my business and stuff like that. Who's not to know, you know? Who's not to know that, you know, there's another person that, goes through the same things as me, or I have something for another woman that I understand that she needs, and vice versa. So it's sort of like being hopeful, but also in the midst of things, you know, it's just nice to not have to be on my P's and Q's and not have to try to look into things and it's presented to me, you know, in real time and not after the fact. And not to even be mad or emotional about it, you know. Like this is peace. Like for real, like this is peace. I just thought about it. Like this is like why it's so like what is going on? Why is this and that? And you're at peace. We love some peace, girl. We love some peace. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night.